Hello seedlings, welcome back to another video, and today I have the promised OC trading cards video, and I'm going to talk about four of my main OC. So let's get started with Phonis, since I picked her out of the card that I shuffled earlier. So Phonis is basically one of the main protagonists, which is the only female protagonist there is in my story. She's a kind-hearted girl, and she works in a cafe, and that's where she's gonna meet one of my character, which is gonna be out in the story when I finish creating the story and typing it down. And basically her job is basically just just having a normal life and tending the cafe and serving people and all. Just wanna see everyone smile. Her family is actually from France, so basically she is half French and half Japanese. But then since she lives in France, oh my god, since she lived in France for so long, she never been taught how to speak Japanese. So in the end, the only fluent language she has is French and English, but she mainly uses English to communicate with others. So for this relationship with my other character, with Kin is a close friend with Phonis. They meet each other at work and all, even though Kin work in a different type of work than Phonis, which will be revealed later on his part. Basically Phonis' power ability, Chess ability, is healing. So basically she can heal, yes, generally heals any mortal wounds, but if it's broken bone or something that's very serious, she might not be able to prevent that life-threatening injury, because in exchange of her healing, it actually drains her lifeline. So basically the more she heals, the shorter her lifeline will be, because every ability has a price in exchange, and it's unfair if she can just heals everyone without having anything to repay back how she literally heals anything, kind of thing. I'm not sure how to explain, but you guys kind of get it basically. I'm not sure what else to talk about her, because she's not really a significant part of the story, and she's Kin's best friends of sort, and they just basically she helps Kin get over his not mental issue, but basically his problem. It's not getting rid, but Kin often comes to Vaughn to console about things and how to solve a problem and all, because Vaughn likes to help others, and she saw that Kin is in distress and all, and she decided hey, you want some help, I can help you with something if you need to. And yeah, she decided to lend a hand to Kin and helps him grow and become a better person in the future, which is in the current life right now. So yeah, she lives a generally happy life, and she has a very supporting parents, except for the fact that since she's part of sort of a rich family, her parents tends to find a perfect guy for her, even though she doesn't really has the urge to get married or anything. She rather live an independent life and do community service to help the community and help others have a better life, rather than spend her life with a guy that she doesn't even know, and just for the sake of wealth or stuff like that, which kind of sucks, because her parents is she wants to live she has to have a freedom of her own, but then her parents doesn't really like that about her, even though they do love her, but they're just overprotective about her. They just want to you have to do this, you have to do that, like blah blah blah, those kind of things, you know, parents. But yeah, that's basically what I can say about Fawn. If you guys have any question, you can ask down below and I'll try my best to answer it, because I'm still kind of building her character as well, even though I have her for quite a while. But yeah, that's all I have from her. So now let's move on to Lynx. Like, a lot of people kind of already know who Lynx is. He's basically kind of like a mascot in my channel as well, since a lot of people love him and all. But basically, Lynx is one of my main OC in my story, and I love him a lot and all. He lives in a temple, like a shrine of sort. He's a wolf guardian. Basically, his job was to protect this shrine that's been around for like hundreds of years, maybe since around the war era. But if you guys are wondering how he be able to live for that long, this guy is basically immortal, but that doesn't mean he can't die. You just have to find a certain way to kill him and then he'll die. But the thing is, not even him know like what's his like weakness point, how to die. And like, he's basically not really a threat. Like, look at him, he's a sunshine ball. Like, why would you hurt this guy? Seriously. Basically, how he turns this way, he was once a human. So basically, a long time ago, his name is like Riku or something like that. His name is Riku, and like he's a best friend of like this one girl who's like the owner of the shrine that he is protecting right now, named Mizuki. And like, Riku really likes Mizuki because, like, I don't know, friendship blooms into kind of like feelings and all. And it was a war era back then, so people were trying to destroy the shrine because like they saw it as kind of like a worship place where people believe in God and they can be salvaged and saved or something like that, and they don't like it and all. So they tried to like destroy the city and the town and all. But then like Riku kind of stand in the way and like tries to stop them, even though he died, which is because he's like a kid, like 13 or 14 like that. He died that young just for protecting that. And somehow, I'm not sure about the detail yet, but he got reincarnated, but not really reincarnated. Basically, Lynx's soul, like the current Lynx right now, his soul was put into Riku's body and then left inside to like, you know, grow and stuff like that. So like, the body still belongs to Riku, but inside it's not Riku anymore, if that makes any sense. Instead it's Lynx. So yeah, it's kind of a complicated story, and it's hard to explain in just this short amount of time. But basically that's that. And his ability is fire and wind manipulation, as well as healing. So his healing on another way is a fast type of healing. He can heal himself and he can heal others, but of course in exchange he'll get tired eventually. And fire manipulation, he's not really good with his fire manipulation ability because he will sometimes burn himself, which is like the scar on his face is kind of like a proof of his own clumsiness. And he can't cook because the moment he touches fire, it goes out of like control. Like if it's not his own fire, it goes out of control. And then this one time he was trying to cook, he accidentally burned his face, and that's why yeah, never let him cook, otherwise your house will be in fire and everything will burn down. And then wind manipulation, he rarely uses it, but he sometimes uses it as fun and like, you know, just making himself float and all. He's really just a playful guy. He just want a peaceful life, but you know, with war and stuff going on, there's nothing much he can do. He can only fight back and like try to protect the shrine, as he is his task to do now as like a reincarnate of a wolf guardian of sort. He can turn into a wolf at will, and it's fluffy and big and blue. And yeah, basically that's Lynx. And currently Lynx is with Lynx met Kin at his workplace, at Kin's workplace I mean, and yeah, they got along with each other and stuff. And yeah, meanwhile his relationship with Ashran isn't really good, because like the thing is, Ashran is actually Lynx's ex. Yeah, his ex. And Ashran is not a really good guy, which I will explain later on his part. And you guys will know why. He's basically the antagonist of sort in my story. And yeah, the poor baby is just traumatized. He just wants a peaceful life. Like, he just wants someone who actually will give him attention and the love that he wants, instead of like just asking him to like do something that he doesn't want to do and stuff like that, which is kind of like, yeah, sad. Protect this baby, man. And yeah, that's all I can say about Lynx. Oh, and one thing is that you can bribe this guy with sweets. So basically he's a big sweets lover. So in exchange of sweets, he'll do anything, like literally anything, to just get the sweet he wants. And so yeah, you can ask him to like give you warmth in the midst of wintry cold night in exchange for like a sweet or two, and he'll agree to it and like, yeah, I'll give you some warm protection as long as you give me sweets and, you know, give me hugs and love and pets and all. Yeah, he's just really a wholesome guy, honestly. And yeah, that's all I can say about him. If you guys like Flonnis has any question, you can ask more down below and I can explain some more and stuff. So now let's move on to Kinsuke, aka Kin, and he's probably my beloved OC, and he's also the main character along with Lynx. And basically he's also a wolf hybrid, but he's not immortal. Unlike Lynx, he's immortal, and he can die, of course, mortal. And his ability, let's start from his ability. His ability is quite unique. I call it necrosis. If you guys took science class and if you guys heard of necrosis before, it's basically a process where like can't heal that certain part of the body anymore. So basically, if it's like basically the blood vessel just died and you can't heal anymore. So his ability is basically whenever he touches someone and he uses his ability, like that part of their skin, their flesh, or even their bone will literally melt into, like, it's not even melt, it literally turns into ashes. Like it just disintegrate and just poof, gone, goodbye. It's like that kind of thing, and it involves blood and all. And yeah, I don't know how to explain it further, but it's a cool ability that he has. And the other one is basically shadow manipulation. He can travel through the shadow and sometimes manipulate his own shadow as well, to like create a chain of like from out of shadow and stuff, to trick others that you know is actually darkness. The thing is, for me, darkness and shadow is two different things. Well, darkness is tangible, which means like if it touches something, it can corrupt you and or maybe like actually hold you in place. But shadow can only temporarily hold you, and it's basically like just bypassing. You can actually just like step out of it, and yeah, the shadow is just there. It won't do anything. It's not really useful. But so basically his necrosis is basically his powerful one. Back when he was young, he doesn't really know how to control his ability as well, so he tends to use glove to not hurt others, because like, you know, what if he touches someone and they just turn to ash? That just kind of scary. This is not some Shigaraki thing from like Boku no Hero. That's different thing, since this one involved more of like just flesh and blood and all. And yeah, and then what else can I say about him? So currently in the present timeline, he works in a like flower shop, tending plants and, you know, taking care of like flowers and all. As a florist, he enjoys being around like nature a lot, and like, you know, just taking care of plants and all. It's his hobby. Despite of how he looks, he loves that kind of thing. People sometimes think that he's scary, but actually he's just a sweetheart man. He's just pretty lonely. He just wants a friend and all. And his dad especially is pretty abusive to him, because his dad expect a lot from him as like a guy, which is like, you know, kind of like the stereotypical guy. Like, you should have like short hair, you should be like the perfect manly guy, and, you know, you have to be the strong one to be able to be the head of the family and stuff like that. I mean, honestly, the dad cheated a lot with a lot of women already, so about that, his dad is pretty trash. And his mom left the family when he was young because she can't stand with his dad attitude anymore, and he left Kin with his dad, which like it doesn't make Kin despise his mother or something like that. He's just sad that his mother didn't took him with her when he was young, instead of like, you know, leaving him with his, you know, with his dad and all, making his life miserable when he was young and stuff like that. So basically, when he was like he met Fawn like around like his college era, which is like where they have to find a part-time job to be able to like help with their allowance and stuff. And when buying a coffee, which is something that he loves drinking coffee a lot, because he tends to not be able to sleep, which is sad, because like he tries so hard to sleep, but he has like nightmares from time to time, which is pretty hard for him to sleep. And when he was about to grab a cup of coffee, he met Vaughn while she was at work in the cafe, and they just started to get along and talk and all, you know, just become friends. And Kin started to open up to her and, you know, talk to her as well, like about his problem and all. And Vaughn is actually the one that listens, so like good for him and all. But the thing is, he has like this one ability that's like hidden from like himself as well, he was not really aware how it happens, but every month full moon, because like full moon happened once a month in like a moon cycle or something like that, he turns into a Wendigo. But the Wendigo is basically like a corrupted spirit that's like been inside of him, which is like a shadow spirit and part of darkness as well. So basically every full moon he would actually transform to this Wendigo wolf-like creature, which he's not aware of, like whenever it takes control of him, and like he doesn't know what to do, and every time it does take over him, he can't do anything because whenever he wakes up he doesn't have any memories or like recollection of what happened when he was a Wendigo of himself. So whenever full moon is closed, he would run into like a isolated place, mainly the forest as well. One time he would go there in the forest, and that's kind of where he met Lynx as well, because like Lynx, he didn't meet him like directly, but Lynx saw him and like, you know, him in the Wendigo form already, and tried to calm down that creature because he was like rampaging around and destroying trees, and Lynx like, how dare you destroy my trees and stuff, because he loved the forest. And like, yeah, that's how. And then when he turns back into his normal self again, Lynx wasn't around already, so like he just returns back to his house and his place home, and like, yeah, that's like kind of like how they met first time, but not really as well, because like in the official story the way they met is actually like in a where Kane worked, which is like in the flower shop. So yeah, basically that's all I can say about Kane for now. If you guys have any question likewise with the other OC, just ask down below and I'll try my best to answer it. And yeah. So now let's move on to the final OC, which is Ashran, and he's one of the main antagonists. Yes, he's the bad guy in the story, but he's not, well, I don't know, it's up to you guys to judge him whether he's actually down bad or just like, you know, bad with some reason behind. But basically, like I said before, his Lynx ex, so they've been in a relationship before, and basically the reason why Lynx broke up with him is because he's abusive and like emotionally manipulate him of sort, you know, those kind of toxic relationship and all. And yeah, and Lynx just can't stand being around him anymore, so they broke up and stuff. So yeah, and then his ability is plan manipulation. Is basically, well, able to be able to manipulate plan, but at the same time he can actually sense the surrounding with his like plan. It's like basically like his the plans act as if it's part of him. So if you hurt the plan, like if you burn it, he can feel the sensation of the burning, or like if you cut it, he can feel the cutting sensation and stuff like that. So yeah, that's his ability, and that's how it affects him. So it's also kind of a weakness, but at the same time he can basically spy on others. Like he can listen to what others is saying, he can see what others doing. It's kind of like creepy of sort as well, but it's kind of cool ability also. even though it's weak against fire, you know, just burn it. But yeah, basically that. He met Lynx while he was out in the forest trying to find like new species for his what is it called, experiment. He likes to experiment on stuff, like basically making like poison to like sell on the black market. He has a relationship with a black market kind of thing as well. So like this one day when he was like scavenging around the forest, he found Lynx, was like, you know, just laying down, chilling in his place and all, and just enjoying the view and stuff. Just decided to just go up to him and have a talk and stuff and all, even though his intention was like bad, because he thought like he wants to use Lynx as his own experiment of stuff, and then he soon learned that Lynx is immortal, which like makes his ambition even more, you know, his ego grew like larger and all, and like it's a good opportunity for him to test it on Lynx, basically, because like not only that Lynx heals, but then he can also just like be alive forever and like reusable for him. So like he basically manipulate Lynx feelings like to Ashran and all, like treated him well at first, gave him everything he wants, and you know, the affection and the love that Lynx really wanted, because like Lynx is very like starved, like attention starved and affection starved. So like yeah, down bad, I guess. Ashran is down bad. I'm not sure if he's able to change or not, but like in some circumstances, maybe hopefully he would be able to change for a better good, but that's also a part of the story which will be coming. I don't know when I'm gonna write it or not, but yeah, you guys will see what happens to him in the end. But basically Lynx broke up with him and all, and yeah, Lynx has a better life now than with this guy, because like, you know, it's just really just like for someone to just manipulate your emotion and your feelings just for you to just use it and like experiment on. It's just, that's sad. Any human person would never be able to do that. Like seriously, why? Like why do you have to do that? And yeah, for his family background, there isn't any right now, because he never told Lynx actually about his family and stuff like that. He just told him that it's complicated, and Lynx just decided to believe it, because Lynx is a pretty naive person as well. So he just basically doesn't want to make others feel bad about, like, you know, or uncomfortable and stuff like that. So he never asked Ashran like about his family and stuff. But what I can say is that his family isn't really the best family there is as well. So it might be the reason why he is also like, you know, rewired or go cuckoo in the head of sort. And yeah, that's all I have to say about him. If you have any other question, you can likewise ask down below in the comment below, and I'll see you guys on the outro. And yeah. So that's all I have to say about this video, and thank you guys for listening, and I hope you guys enjoy this series of my OC trading card video and a little bit of my OC backstory and all. I'm sorry if there's some misread or like misword like pronounced or something, like pronunciation, because like I'm not really sure how to speak without like a proper script if it's about my OC, because like yeah, I just like tends to like say a lot of things about them and just can't stop. But like, as I know, there's a limited time for this, so yeah, like I said, if there's any more question you want to ask about them, just go ahead in the comment down section below, and like yeah, just comment down on what you guys want to see and like what you guys want to know about them, and I'll see you guys on the next time. Stay safe, stay healthy, drink lots of water, stay inside, COVID is still around, and yeah, bye bye. Also, just pretend that I don't mess up that outro so badly there.